In our top story, shock in Zimbabwe after an assassination attempt on President Emmerson Mnangagwa. The Zimbabwean leader has called for peace, love and unity in the country after Saturday's blast that took place in the White City Stadium in Bulawayo. Mnangagwa has assured he's unhurt but confirmed on social media that he was just inches away from the blast. State television says 42 people have been injured, 6 of them seriously. The wounded include Vice President Kembo Mohadi, whose leg was damaged in the blast. The president was in Bulawayo to campaign for the ruling ZANU-PF party ahead of national elections taking place on the 30th of July. Well, let's get you more now on that story. I'm joined live from Bulawayo by our correspondent Farai Mokotoya. Farai, at this stage, are there any further details about the bombing and especially what it was made of?
Well, Lindy, details are still being kept under wraps at this point in time. What I can tell you is that, and what has been confirmed, is that some form of device was lobbed at the president as he and his entourage were leaving that VIP podium yesterday. Behind me is the White City Stadium, where currently the bomb and forensic squads of both the army and the police are picking through the venue, which has been left untouched overnight, to try and get more information and more details on this bombing. The police is also due to address a press conference in a short while where we expect more details on that investigation. But at this point in time, details are being kept under wraps. You made mention of the injured. The majority of them are being treated at a hospital called Mpilo Hospital, which is the main referral hospital here in Bulawayo. I was there a short while ago, and again, details of who is being kept where are being kept very tightly guarded. The majority of the people who were injured were those who were in close proximity to the president, his security detail, and so because of that, they are not at liberty at this point to divulge who has been injured. But we can tell you that certainly a number of those people are critically injured. One person was in ICU at Mpilo Hospital when we were there earlier, Lindy.
Indeed, a very brazen attack on the president, one that he has called cowardly. But what is the latest, as far as the investigation is concerned, what's the latest on who might be behind this? Have any arrests been made?
No arrests that we've heard of yet, but as I said a short while ago, the police will be addressing a press conference and there might be some updates there. What we know is that they've said they're keeping an open mind in terms of who could be behind this, in terms of all the angles with regards to this bombing and this attack. The president himself has, dissociated this region and this area of Bulawayo from being a part of this attack. He's, referred to his usual enemies. So that was a statement that he used in an interview yesterday. And by that, he's referring to some of the people who have been, perhaps behind some of the assassination attempts that have been made, attempts on his life made in the past. So at this stage, the police is keeping an open mind, looking at all angles, and we expect to get fuller details when they address a press conference this afternoon, Lindy.
And just considering that he has been president only for a few months, he's just been in power since November, why would someone target the president just a month away before the elections?
Well, in an address that the president made that's been broadcast to the nation, one of the things he mentioned was the fact that there are some people who are unhappy with the progress that Zimbabwe is making since he took over leadership, that there are people who are unhappy with, the steps that Zimbabwe is making towards a more prosperous and a better, more open society. And he says that some of those people could be the people who are behind these attacks, trying to scuttle and derail the progress being made, but also put spanners in the works ahead of this very crucial election. The president has been preaching peace. He said that this election must be peaceful, it must be free, fair and credible. And in many ways, this is seen as a test and a major milestone towards Zimbabwe normalizing its relations with the rest of the world. And so people who might be bent on ensuring that doesn't happen might be behind this. And as I said earlier, the president has been, the target of a number of assassination attempts in the past. Cyanide poisoning amongst others. When he was, dismissed from his post by his predecessor, Robert Mugabe, he also left the country, he fled the country, and he said the reason why he had done that was because he felt his life was in danger. People were out to get him. And so clearly there are people political rivals who may be wanting to go after him now. And make sure that this election perhaps may not happen or is not as peaceful as everyone would like it to be, and for Zimbabwe to continue to prosper after this, Lindy.
Farai Makutoya, thank you so much for keeping us up to speed. They're joining us live from Bulawayo in Zimbabwe.